ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Brought to you by Huntington Federal Savings Bank. Local then, local now. Member FDIC.
All right, we're ready to go for your Friday edition. Paul Swann, your host on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our phone lines are open this hour, 877-420-TALK. That is 877-420-8255. White Claw, Hard Seltzer. It is made pure. Our text line is open as well, 304-523-2275. That's 304-523-2275. And to keep up to date with what's going on and to follow me, you can get on Twitter at Paul Swann. We're keeping an eye on a lot of the action going on today, of course, with spring, sports. There are a lot of things happening. We're keeping an eye on softball. We've got a couple of score updates to give you a little bit later on in the program. We've got baseball. That's just wrapping up now as we speak. Busy Saturday, of course. We got Marshall and Western Kentucky. The women are at home on Saturday afternoon. So if you haven't had a chance to head out yet to see the women play, this is the final game, regular season, for Tony Kemper's squad. You should go and support those ladies. What are you doing on a Saturday? Seriously, what are you doing on a Saturday? If you can't get to the game, I understand. But if you can, go support them. They're playing some good basketball right now. They beat Western Kentucky the other night. Let's give it to them. They beat Western Kentucky 80-62 at Western's place. Now Western's going to probably come in fired up, wanting to get the win, sort of even the odds with the Herd. There's a chance for you to go support the ladies. That's coming up on Saturday. And, of course, we've got the men's game for you. The men are at Western Kentucky looking for a little redemption before the Conference USA tournament. We have that for you beginning at 2 o'clock. Our coverage begins here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And that's where I am today. What are we going to see tomorrow? What do you expect happening tomorrow for the Thundering Herd? Are we going to see a renewed energy from this team? Some of the things that Tavion Kinsey talked about, lazy passes, just making some lazy plays. Are we going to see that rectified? Is that going to be addressed? Will the players address that? Will Dan? He's not going to be giving speeches. I don't think he has any more speeches left. I think he's gone through the entire catalog of speeches. At this point, it's probably on the players to see what happens. And, of course, a lot of that's going to be coaching as well. This is a team sport. That means coach all the way down. So, are we going to see better substitution patterns? Are we going to see a more aggressive Marshall? Are we going to see guys in there longer? Are we going to see Tavion Kinsey out there for almost 40 minutes? We're going to see Andrew Taylor out there for almost 40 minutes. Are we going to see Obina out there for almost 40 minutes? I mean, where's your rotation? What do you like? What's your rotation like? So all of that, we'll take your phone calls and text. And again, the text line is open for you now. That's going to be the best way to get part of the show today at 304-523-2275, 304-523-2275. So we're going to start checking the text line here in a minute, see what you're having to say. As, of course, this is your last chance before the game on Saturday. Of course, we'll go on the air at 2 o'clock. We will take your comments, obviously, post-game. We'll get some of those pre-game as well. But where do you think the Herd ends up? Is it going to be all in? Doesn't matter, win or lose, all in. We're getting ready for the tournament. We're all in. Or are we going to see this team just weary, wanting it over, playing it out? That's the question. Will this team play it out, just go through the motions, play a not maybe high energy, but just enough to be respectable, just go out there, go through the motions, or we're going to see a little fight in this team? I mean, those are some things that I'm interested in seeing tomorrow. If this team comes out tomorrow and fights, plays hard, and play smart. I need both of that. I need two things. I need hard play but smart play. That's what I want to see tomorrow. We know this team came out, and it was even for a while. It felt like, okay, Marshall might have a chance here. Marshall is going to play Western Kentucky tough, and that wasn't the case after a while. Herd ended up in that first half shooting 12 of 33. Hurd came out and hit a couple of threes, and you felt good, and then shot 27% the rest of the way. Put it all together, 4-15 total, 27%. As I said, the free throw line wasn't really an issue. Western Kentucky, 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Marshall was 5 of 10 from the free throw line. And some of you have said to me, hey, there's no fouling going on because they're not playing hard. They're not going after balls. They're not fighting. Well, I want them to play hard, but I don't want them just to blow through fouls either. That's the thing. I want them to play smart. I want to be a little bit more aggressive. And I'm sure after playing and seeing what they did to you the first time, maybe you can crack that a little bit. Marshall got beat in the paint 42-30. Cameron Justice, career day against the Herd with 27 points. You want to shut that down. They had 4 guys in double digits, and Justice led the way with 27. Davion McKnight had 23. I mean, the Herd, 3 players in double digits as well. But everyone else just kind of disappeared. Darius George, 2 points. 16 minutes, 2 points. Michael Byers, 26 minutes, 6 points. Toussaint, 4. David Early had 5. David was out there 11 minutes and got 5 points. Marco's out there 16 minutes, 0 points. Goran's out there 9 minutes, 0 points. Marco's 0 of 3, all 3-point shots. Had 3 fouls. Obviously, that will limit you. 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 block. That was his stat line. Those are important things. Texter writes in at 304-523-2275. The effort is there, but the talent isn't. I'm sure we will get smacked tomorrow. And that's a good point. And that's not disparaging these young men. That's not saying that they're not out there playing hard, giving it their very best. I mean, that's what I ask. Did you play your very best? Did you play as hard as you could? Did you play smart? That's what I'm looking for. If you got out-talented, that's okay. I can forgive that because you gave it your all. Sure, you're going to lose, and that's going to go against the win-loss record, and we all want the wins to be more than the losses. I'm totally with you. But if I see guys go out there giving it they're giving it their all, playing hard, playing as hard as they can, and playing smart. I mean, you make mistakes sometimes, and I get that. And that's okay. Again, that's okay. But if it's constant and you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, I mean, at this point, I know Dan talks about the youth of his team compared to the veterans on the other teams. And at this point in the season, haven't they had enough experience at this point of the season to grow a little bit more? If I'm out there for maybe 2 or 3 games, and there's a guy out there as a veteran on me, I'm not going to do so well. If I've been out there a long time now, even though that guy's had more experience, I should be showing some signs here. All right. Texter writes, looks like I got one earlier today before the show began and a little bit later on. I'll read them both. Texter writes, while I believe that Dan D'Antoni will be back next season, the lack of talent on this roster is evident based on a large sample size. Poor shooting, poor offense, and defensive rebounding. Lack of quickness required to play the version of Man D is apparent in nearly every game. There's very little evidence that this team plays smart. We haven't seen it. We've seen some mistakes. We've seen some, what are you thinking? Why are you making that pass? Where are you going? There have been some lapses, and Tavion said it was mental. How do you overcome that? How do you just focus and play the game? Just go play the game. You're 0-1 or 1-0. How do you want to do that? How's that go? Yeah, win the day. 0-0. You want to finish 1-0. Always playing to be 1-0. You're not worried about what happened last time. You're not worried about happening next game. It's right now. We're trying to be 1-0. That's a little different in basketball, but you're trying to be 1-0. Just go out and play. Go play. You know how to play the game. You have to be able to know how to play the game. At this point, play. Relax, but go out and play. I agree with Dan in that regard. Yeah, it should be fun. But how do you make it fun? You know what you're doing. You know how to play the game. Just go play. Play hard. Play. It's challenging. That's supposed to be fun. You like competition. That's supposed to be fun. Now, it's easy for me to say. I'm not out there. I'm not playing the schedule. I'm not playing on this team. It's easy for me to say. Let's go have fun. But go have fun. Play to the best of your ability. Don't overthink it. Don't not think about it, but don't overthink it. Just go and enjoy the game. Play. Have fun. But at the same time, the issue remains, if they're playing hard, they got to play smarter. You can play smart, not hard. They got to put that together. You got to play hard. You got to play smart. Now, the secret is, how do you get them to play hard and how do you get them to play smart? That's easy for me to say. Play harder, faster, more intensity. Play smart. Easy for me to say. Cliches all the way. But this is what they have to do. They're going to have to go out there and find a way to, one, quit overthinking it, but make smart plays. Play hard. Enjoy the competition. Be smart about it. And if you lose, you lose. I think a lot of us can accept that. But it's fair to say maybe the talent's not there. I mean, that's not a diss. That's not an insult. Look, these kids aren't as talented. They're trying. They're not as talented. And if we were not worried about wins and losses, we wouldn't put a lot of money into this. And that's the thing. It's fun. At the end of the day, I'm here. I'm the proprietor of the toy box. I get to talk about us playing with the action figures and the toys. I mean, this is the fun and games department of life right now. I'm talking about basketball. I'm talking about sports. I'm talking about it's fun. Because there are a lot of things going on in the world that are not fun right now. And this is the fun thing. And yes, we want to see the team do well. We want to see Marshall win. We want to see him do well. And we want to see Marshall as an athletic department, as a coaching staff. We want to see the team succeed, put the student athletes in the best place possible. And a lot of that is going to factor in what the new athletic director does. I keep going back to the interview I had with Ari Agnes the other day because it struck me. She's like, all things being equal, you need nice, shiny things to bring people in. So you got to figure out what's it going to take to bring in better talent. What's it going to take to be competitive? And I think that's all everyone is asking for. Let's be competitive on the basketball court. And this is a tough season. I get it. It's a completely tough season here. Marshall loses tomorrow, that's 20 losses. And then you're heading to the Conference USA tournament. Now, if Marshall wins the tournament, does that make it better for you? If Marshall wins Conference USA tournament, do you look at the 20 losses? If Marshall loses tomorrow, loss number 20, gets in the tournament and wins it, all of a sudden, it's a turnaround, right? You're happy. Marshall's in the NCAA tournament. That's where Dan wants the team to be. Or are you looking for something a little bit more? A year-long quality win-loss record. Can't win them all, so you want more wins and losses, obviously. You want competitive games, contested games, with the occasional, you blow out teams that you shouldn't be even close with. And you're competitive with the teams that are like you. You just want good basketball. That's what you want. And you can forgive a loss here or there as long as they're playing hard and playing smart. And you're hoping that Marshall's able to go out and get the best talent possible and put it together and see what happens. That's why recruiting is going to be key. That's why the transfer portal is going to be key. That's why after this is all said and done, I'm going to be interested to see who stays and who goes. Who goes in the transfer portal, who comes out of the transfer portal. So we've got all of that to look forward to. But I want to get more of your phone calls and text in. We'll open the text line back up for you when we come back from break. 304-523-2275. That's 304-523-2275. More coming up on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Presented by Huntington Federal Savings Bank.
Our text line is 304-523-2275, 304-523-2275. Just want to take a moment. I had someone message me, let me know. I know he'd been having some difficulties, and the Marshall fan base, the Marshall community, lost a pretty good guy. I was saddened to hear about Mike Stapleton passing away. And I had someone send me the details. It's going to be Wallace Funeral Home taking care of the arrangements. And, this is a guy that you saw at coaches' shows. He was the guy getting on the microphone talking to the doc all the time. You see him at football games. You see him at basketball games. You see him helping out during practices. He was around for a long time. Huge Herd fan. Huge Herd fan. And he definitely was someone that took a moment to grow. Well, let me put it to you this way. He didn't like me at first because I came in here. I come from another job, another position, and the whole idea that this is what was intriguing at the time. It's like, okay, we're gonna bring the guy in who has some opinions. He's blunt. That was me. He definitely has an opinion. He'll say it. It might not be all pro Herd, and we're gonna put him in here with one of the most beloved icons of Marshall athletics, former athletic equipment manager Woody Woodger, and we're going to put those guys in together, and we're going to let them break some eggs, stir it up a little bit, go after each other. Me and Woody, there were a couple of times where we just, we had bad days, and we definitely had heated debates. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, we're cutting up during commercial breaks. We get along well. We're huge friends. But to a lot of people, they didn't think that we liked each other. I know Woody still, people will come up like, you guys don't like each other, right? Oh, no, we love each other. We Christmas shop for each other. Come on now. We've gone to movies and hung out together. We're real friends. Seriously. This job started as a co-worker and became a real friend, a guy that I would go to bat for. And I love Mike because Mike just did not like me because I was arguing with Woody. I was taking hot takes. I one time just to see what I could get, say, I don't think Marshall's going to win the first 6 games. And people just blew up. What are you talking about? How dare you? And it's always funny when I'm positive about the Herd. Come on, Paul, we gotta fire Doc. We got to fire Doc. Come on, Paul. Quit being positive. When I'm negative, come on, Paul. You got to be positive. It always went the other way. Not with Mike, though. Mike was a great booster, great fan, great supporter. And I think I finally grew on him. He finally, okay, this guy's all right. This guy, he came in here, maybe upset the apple cart a little bit. This guy's okay. And so I'd always enjoy catching Mike and talking to him. And he'd tell me, look, I don't agree with some of the things you say, but, I get it. I think he realized that, hey, I'm an okay guy. And so I knew he was having some healthcare issues, and I don't know all the details. I do know that, this was a guy that I'd see around a lot, and huge Herd fan. So I know a lot of Herd fans were praying for him and hoping that he'd overcome, and unfortunately he just wasn't able to do it. And I hate that. I hate it for anybody, but yeah, especially this guy.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Brought to you by Huntington Federal Savings Bank, the local bank that's here for every step of your life's journey. Member FDIC.
Our text line this hour is 304-523-2275. Paul Swann, your host with this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our phone lines this hour also brought to you by White Claw at 877-420-TALK. White Claw Hard Seltzer, it is made pure. Texter writes in, what percentage has the team improved over the season? Not much, my opinion. That's not on Dan. It's the coaching staff's position coaches. They get paid, good money. Coach them up, don't baby them, coach them hard. Demand they play defense. Demand they block out and rebound. Demand they play aggressive, not soft, especially when their shots aren't falling. Just basic, hard-nosed Southern West Virginia basketball. So this texter wants some hard-nosed Southern West Virginia basketball. I mean, if you're playing smart and you're in position, you got a chance. If you're playing smart, you're where you need to be. If you're off doing your own thing, if you're like a free agent out there, you're not doing yourself any favors. If you're supposed to be somewhere, be there. If you get beat, you get beat. But if you're where you need to be, that's half the battle. And again, I don't want them to overthink it. If they miss a shot, go get the rebound. Go get it. How bad do you want it? I tell my interns this. Do you want something? Go get it. Well, I want to do this. Well, go do it. Seriously. You want the rebound? Go get it. I can't get the rebound. Well, how do you get rebounds? You got to be in position. You got to know where the ball's at. Got to have some luck. You got to have athleticism. Okay, there are athletes out there. I mean, you got to do a little bit of everything. You can't just, okay, I'm going to jump up and get it. You got to do everything you possibly can to get that. If you don't, you don't. But be in position for one to go get it. Don't just give it up. Make smart, sharp, crisp passes. Don't just throw it over there. Pass the ball with purpose. Pass the ball with purpose. Everything you do should have purpose. And if you're not doing it well, you can learn from that. But if you're not doing it without purpose, what are you doing? And sometimes we all fall in that trap. So I can't sit here and just tell you that I'm perfect and I do it perfect because I do it with purpose. Yeah. Have a purpose for what you're doing. Take a shot with purpose. Don't just lob it up there. Shoot the ball with purpose. Don't just pass the ball. Pass the ball with purpose. Play defense. Don't overthink it, but make it hard on your guy. If you're guarding someone, you're on them, make it hard. Do some extra things like that. And you're not going to win them all. But you're going to win more than you think. And you're going to play a lot better basketball if you are mindful of what you're doing and you have purpose. And again, I know this is easy for me to say. I can't get in their heads and fix this. I'll say this, though. I would think they would want to self-regulate themselves. I come on the show, and if I have a bad day, I'm mad about it. I'm absolutely mad about it. If I have what I think is a bad day, a bad show, I wasn't prepared well enough. Well, how do you get better? Prepare better. I wasn't on point with some of my topics. Well, think it out better. Not much going on today. What do you mean there's not much going on? There's something going on. Be mindful of what's going on. I can tell myself these things, and I have to have solutions. So Tavion said, some of our passes were lazy. Okay. How do you fix that? He said it was mental. Okay, and I accept that. It's mental. How do you get out of that, though? And I have no idea if I'm giving good advice here or not, but I do know this. If you know what part of the problem is, you can address it. Like not playing hard. That doesn't mean go out there and just foul out. And that doesn't mean you're going out there and you're playing Bill Laimbeer style basketball, for those of you who remember the great Bill Laimbeer. I'm just saying if you're making silly mistakes, think about it. And what is happening? What is happening? If you know what that is, you can fix it. So, and I think I'm on point a little bit. Texter writes, Paul, let them know we are going to do our best to play some hard-nosed Southern West Virginia basketball tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. for Senior Day. That's Tony from the Cam Henderson Center. Oh, I know they're going to play hard. I expect nothing else out of them. I know they're playing hard. It's Senior Day. They got a great win against Western Kentucky on the road. Hopefully you show up at the Henderson Center tomorrow. Bring the noise. It's not going to break the budget. And you're going to hear a lot of fans cheering on a team that's going to appreciate you being there. And they're going to play some hard-nosed Southern West Virginia basketball tomorrow at the Cam Henderson Center. By the way, we asked a question yesterday when we were listening to some of Coach Kemper's remarks. We asked who said it better, Tony Kemper or Joe Burrow, when it came to why not us. If Coach Kemper wins it all, he said it better. And that's where we stand with that. So good reminder there from Tony at the Cam Henderson Center to let me know that some very good basketball is going to be played tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, Senior Day, at the Cam Henderson Center. Get out there, support them. Savannah Wheeler was on fire the other night. Brianna Furby was great there. We talked about as well. We're looking at plus minuses just to kind of look at what we got coming up tomorrow. You look at 4 points from Lorelei Roper, and if you just go there and like, oh, she just had 4 points. She was 2 of 5 from the field. Okay. Did you see what else she did? She had 10 rebounds. She was playing with 3 fouls. She had, a couple turnovers, but she had a block. She had a steal. She was on the court, and she was in the positive. She was a plus 25. We talked about this in hockey terms. When she's on the court, the team was plus 25. She was plus 25. So all of her actions on the court, she was part of positive play. I hope we see more of that tomorrow from her. Going to be a fun game tomorrow. Get out there. Go support the Thundering Herd. And again, there will be some hard-nosed Southern West Virginia basketball being played tomorrow by the women at the Cam Henderson Center. Okay, our text line is open for you, 304-523-2275, 304-523-2275. More coming up. It's The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Presented by Huntington Federal Savings Bank.
Let's get you caught up on what's happening with the Herd elsewhere. Softball doing business today. Took out Purdue Fort Wayne 8-0. And then took out University of Maryland Eastern Shore 4-0. Baseball took out Oakland again, 7-0. Coming up tomorrow, we got a busy schedule for you. It begins with Western Kentucky at Marshall, 1 p.m. Be there, support the Herd. The game will be over in time for you to listen to the Herd on the radio as you're leaving. You might even catch a little bit of me on the air previewing the Marshall game with the men tomorrow. So you'll hear all of that. Herd's going to be done. Get the win over Western Kentucky. Head to the Conference USA tournament. And then you get into your vehicle. Leave the Cam Henderson Center. on a high note. Get ready for some men's basketball with me. And then after it's all done, you're going to stay, you're going to listen to the show, because I'll be on with the post game, and I will have comments from then victorious head coach Tony Kemper and Dan D'Antoni. We'll have post game comments from those gentlemen. That's what you can do. Or here's another way you can do it. Women play at 1, right? I don't know if Coach Lyon, she'll be okay with this. She'll be okay with this. She gets it. She understands. 11 a.m. tomorrow. Head over to softball. 11 a.m. Marshall Winthrop. Do that. Okay, got it? Check it off. Then head over. You can watch the Marshall women play at 1 o'clock at the Henderson Center. You're already going to be here for softball at 11 a.m. Already going to be here. Do that. And then you can follow softball. Do the live stats. I think the student radio station is going to stream that one. You can listen to the Marshall women. You listen to that game, and I'm sure they'll update softball for you. Then when you're done with the women, get in your vehicle, right? Flip on 93.7 on your radio, because it'll boom everywhere. So 937, maybe you'll catch me. If not, you'll catch the voice of the herd, Steve Cotton. You can listen to that game on your way home. Then you're going to tune in afterwards. If you're watching it and you can come back. I get it. You come back. And then I'll have, again, comments from winning head coach Tony Kemper and winning head coach Dan D'Antoni with your comments, your feedback. And then we'll have baseball results for you as well. Sorry, Wags. I love you. I love you, Wags. But I'm trying to make it easy I'm directing everyone to Tony tomorrow. So softball at 11, women's basketball at 1, heard on radio. You can take your radio. You can listen to me starting at 2. Post game, victorious comments, Tony Kemper. Get set for Conference USA tournament. There you have it. It's all been planned out for you. You'll have a full day tomorrow, and just get up early. I mean, you're used to get up early on Saturday, showing up, tailgating. Just do that. It's 11 a.m. How hard is it? Get out there and support them. Take your radio. If you don't have a radio, get the streaming app. Get a radio, but get the streaming app if you don't have the radio, and you can listen to all the stuff you want, and everybody will be happy tomorrow. That's all you need to do. Again, our text line is 304-523-2275, 304-523-2275. I think we got it pretty much well planned out for you. And then we're all going to get set for the herd going to Frisco. And if you're going to Frisco, make sure you're there for both tournaments. Get to see the men play first. Stick around for the women. They'll be playing on Wednesday. Bringing back home the hardware. See, that's what I want. I want some hardware brought home. Final time in Conference USA. I know that's not the real reason why you want to win it, but final time in Conference USA, just have the hardware, go into the Sun Belt as the, not defending, but reigning Conference USA champions. Just the reigning, you can't defend it, you'll be in the Sun Belt, but you'll be the reigning Conference USA champions coming into the Sun Belt. That's what I want to see. I'll take it for men and women. I want them both. I'm greedy. And I think, and I'm not just saying this because I'm not just saying this. I think the women have got a really good shot. Love the way they played against Western Kentucky. I think they've got a really good shot. They have as legitimate of a shot as anyone else in that tournament. And if they get hot and they keep playing like that, because I will be upfront with you. It's very hard to go into Western Kentucky and win. And they went in and handled business. I mean, Western Kentucky made it tough on them in the fourth. They stressed them a little bit. They won that fourth 21-12. I wasn't expecting Western just to roll over, but Marshall came out first, took a lead on them, kept the lead in the second, punched them in the mouth in the third, and then weathered the storm in the fourth, held on, and really not held on. It wasn't in doubt. It wasn't one of those situations where, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's like, okay, they're going to make their run. We're going to deal with it. And now they're coming to the Henderson Center. And I know Marshall's better at home than on the road. You have to be. You're always better at home. You have to be better at home. It's just a matter of law. You have to be better at home. And if you're there supporting them, even better. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for the tournament, actually. Yeah, this is going to feel right. Yeah, everything's starting to fall back into place. So I'm honestly really excited for what the women have got a chance to do, and I hope the men can pick it up. I hope the men can pick it up here in the next couple of games and get it going. So that's where we stand, and of course we'll have that game for you. We'll have the men right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and of course you can stick around for our post game. We'll have that as well. Post game coverage starts after the game broadcast tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And you got a busy day tomorrow. It's starting to turn spring. Weather was kind of nice today for a little bit. I know it's a little overcast now. Weather was kind of nice, though. We get that going. It's going to feel nice again, isn't it? We can get outside, watch some games, right? Watch a little softball, watch a little baseball. March Madness is here. And let me remind you, we got that for you, by the way. We have March Madness once again from the first four to the final four to the championship, all right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and our sister station Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. We'll be following the Kentucky Wildcats there. And, of course, March Madness will be there as well when the Wildcats are not playing. So a lot of basketball coming up here in the next few weeks. And I'm hoping, because we also have some opportunities here to carry the women in the NCAA tournament. There's some opportunities there. So I would love to have a Marshall women's basketball game in the NCAA tournament right here. Would love that. Just see the herd make a run. Get in that first round, you're like, oh, it's Marshall. No, make a run. Like how the men did a few years ago. That's what I want to see. Just the women make a run. Put Sunbelt on notice. Now, I'm thinking like that. They're not thinking about that. I'm sure right now, Savannah Wheeler's like, not thinking about that. Is Kennedy Coleclaw thinking about that? No. Is Cece Mays thinking about that? No, Cece's not thinking about that. Lorelei Roper thinking about that? No. They're seeing red right now. They're thinking about Western Kentucky, as so they should. But I'm thinking about that. That's what I'm thinking about. Just go in with a little swagger. Just go in. Little hardware added to your name. That would be nice. That's what I'm looking for. All right, don't forget, back here tomorrow, we've got men's basketball. We'll be following along with the women. And you can find me on Twitter as well, at Paul Swann. And let's see, what do I get from Twitter? Twitter thanking me for talking about Mike Stapleton. Said I described him perfectly. Yeah, the guy just at first didn't like me. just didn't like me. You go on message boards, and man, it's just like, this guy Swann, what's he doing? And it wasn't like I hadn't been on the radio for a couple of decades prior. It was, I entered Woody's world, and I was arguing with Woody, and I was taking different sides of arguments. We were having a good time. It's like, how dare this guy? How dare this guy? Who is this guy? And I grew on him. Finally, it's like, okay, you're all right. You're okay, guy. I get it. You're all right. Woody was like, no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, I promise. I mean, Woody had to go front for me for a while. Whoa. Hey, look, no. Let's not put the pitchforks and torches down. Paul's okay guy. Put him down. Put him down. It's okay. Yeah, I hate that. I love that guy, though, because he was fun to talk to. I mean, because at least I could talk to him. I've run into him. Once he got over the fact that I wasn't the Antichrist. I wasn't the seventh seal being broken here, bringing on the gates of hell here. He actually warmed up to me. So, yeah, I missed that guy already. Hate that for Herd fans. And, that's what makes Marshall, I think, a very important place at times. You have a sense of family and camaraderie that I don't know how many more universities can say they share. And with that said, back tomorrow, we do it all over again. Herd basketball. Go see the women at 1. Join me on the radio at 2. Game 3 p.m. for the men. Back here afterwards, we'll have comments from, again, victorious head coach Tony Kemper, victorious head coach Dan D'Antoni. Then we'll get set for the tournament. Have a great night, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W231BS Huntington, broadcasting from the Oscars Breakfast Burgers and Brew Studios. This is ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.